Simple question. Does the Bible have authority over the Constitution?
He said that's a simple question. That is not a simple question by any stretch of the imagination.
A simply worded question. How's that?
I think probably what you have to do is ask a very specific question about a specific passage of the Bible and a specific portion of the Constitution. I don't think you can answer that question other than out of very specific context.
I'm going to close here with a question.
Yeah, but you really can answer that question. You really can't answer that question without it having to be a specific passage of the Bible or a specific portion of the Constitution. The answer is no. The Bible in the United States of America, the Bible does not take precedent over the Constitution. It may take precedent over your personal life. Here, you know what I mean? Do your thing. If it takes precedent over your personal life, then fine. But this was a very simple question, and it's only complicated for people who have not decided or haven't figured out or don't want to figure out the separation of church and state, and the fact that the separation of church and state is actually beneficial to religious people. It is because of the separation of church and state that we're even free to worship, to read the Bible, to teach the Bible, to preach the Bible, to have a multi-billion-dollar Christian industry with movies, with churches on every corner, with bookstores on every corner of every major city. You know, it's because of the separation of church and state that you can do those things. And I did an entire video on this before, and I had people comment and say, expletive this, you've lost your mind. You know, the Bible, we could preach the Bible in America because God said we could preach the Bible. No, because if that was a fact, then everywhere in the world you would be free as you are in America to preach and teach the Bible, but that's not true. In other parts of the world, you will be stoned, you will be killed, you will be beheaded, you will be hanged, you will be executed for reading, preaching, teaching the Bible. Just go take a trip to North Korea and see how free you are there. And so for people who can't understand the simplicity of separation of church and state, now Ben Carson understands it. Let me stop my other sentence and start here. Ben Carson understands it, but he realizes that his base are either just genuinely slow or intentionally obtuse, and or nefarious, right? You do have some Christians and religious people in America that want America to be a theocracy. They genuinely think that America should be run on biblical Christian values. But not all Christian values, mind you. And that's what I tell people quite often, is that if you want America to be run based on the Bible, you have to be careful, because the Bible will have us all stoned. The Bible, I mean, which portion of the Bible are you going to run America based off of? And so that's why Ben Carson couldn't answer this simple question, because he's dealing with a base. He's dealing with a group of people who are completely incapable of separating their passion and zeal for religion from legal policies, from secular governmental rights. And they feel as though the government should be a theocracy. They feel as though the Constitution should take second place to the Bible, even though the Constitution separating the church and state is the very reason that religion has flourished so much in the United States of America. But apparently that level of nuance, that level of discourse, that level of analysis is entirely too much for people of the conservative persuasion. Because if it wasn't so difficult for them to understand that simple concept, then Ben Carson could have answered this very simple question. In the United States of America, the Bible does not trump the Constitution. But because of that, because the Bible cannot trump the Constitution, no other religion can trump the Constitution. No other religious book can trump the Constitution. Nothing can trump the Constitutions. And that is the very reason anyone's brand of religion or non-religion is free to flourish. But people get stuck on stupid and feel like, I don't know. This is one of those things that burns me to the core, because you cannot be. We cannot entertain this level of ignorance. We cannot allow this level of I'm going to make up a word, asininity. We cannot allow this level of foolishness to continue to run amok in the United States of America? It is a very simple question, Ben Carson, but alas, for some people, nothing is ever cut and dry. People have to make things extra difficult, and it's because he's pandering to the base. So that's Ben Carson.